shout a shot for ginseng skincare.
Good night.
Yeah, so we did end on the fact that yes, ginseng is definitely not a must. We are not gonna be telling you to go run out and you need to add your ginseng to your skincare today. Also, a chemist complaint is it's really hard for us to decode ginseng stuff in skincare. Usually you're going to find that Inky is going to say Panax ginseng extract or Panax ginseng root extract. And we can't tell you where it's from, how it's processed, what constituents might be in it. That might be interesting. We don't know. So that's what's really hard. And so today we're not going to really paint a landscape for you guys. Mm-hmm. We're just going to talk about a couple products that include ginseng. So this is really for Gloria. I'm going to just share with her 2 products and see how Gloria feels.
Yay. Can't wait.
All right. So we got to talk about Sawasu. I think they're probably the most famous brand that has ginseng stuff. So
I feel like they're like the granddaddy of like Premier K Beauty that features ginseng as one of their core ingredients.
Totally. And they talk about a lot their ginseng complex. I believe it's I think they refer to it as their saponin complex. And so they have a concentrated ginseng renewing cream classic. This is priced at $260 for 2 ounces.
So reasonable.
I'm going to blitz through the IL, and Gloria, just go ahead and skim as well and see if there's anything that brings your attention. But they've got water, butylene glycol, dimethicone glycerin, triethylhexanoate, squalane, hydrogenated polyisobutane, 1,2-hexane-diol, vinyl dimethicone, methicone, silsquoxane, cross polymer powder. They've got more polymers, more emulsifiers, and I'm gonna keep going to where we're gonna hit about the middle part where you'll see their complex hydrolyzed ginseng saponins. And that's really it. I'm not going to read any more than that. They've got a few peptides at the very end.
Yes, I see the saponin. I also see a Panax ginseng root extract on top of the saponin.
Good call.
And some other extracts. Well, okay.
They also have Panax ginseng flower extract, which we haven't talked about. So that's interesting.
Oh. Well, I think first of all, just looking at this as a cream, for me, it wouldn't be, as someone with dry skin, this wouldn't necessarily be my go-to moisturizer. It doesn't quite have, dimethicone, I don't know which dimethicone they're using, but that seems to be their core occlusive that they're using. So you can expect a slightly lighter finish than something that might use a heavier occlusive like your Butters Waxes or Petrolatum.
Yeah.
I do also want to add that if you're using it for, as your lone moisturizer, and if you're dry skin, I would recommend using more of a hydrating serum underneath it, just because, glycerin's in that 4th spot. Butylene glycol, while is a humectant, it's not the most hydrating thing in the world, so you might need a little bit more water grabbers. Then in terms of like the ginseng complex, it's kind of hard to comment, right? So all of it comes after their fragrance and in the same spot as their similar area as their phenoxyethanol, which means it could be at the highest level over 1%, maybe. Or it could be well below that. I don't really know. It could be rearranged. But then again, like Victoria mentioned, there's a blend of a lot of ginseng stuff. It's their proprietary complex. How does that perform and how does that measure against all the clinical studies we just went through with everyone? I don't really know.
That's the question there is I couldn't find any clinical data to share here. So this is one of those mystery luxury creams. And I think you brought up such a good point. This is clearly one of those creams that's meant to be layered. Because it's like that in between. It's like not quite super light, but not quite nourishing enough. So that's just a great comment there. So anyways, so that's the first product. The second product is one of their, I would say, more popular serums. It's the Sawasu Anti-Aging First Care Activating Serum. This is $89 for 2 ounces, the same volume. So really quick, running through their IL, it's water, alcohol, butylene glycol, betaine, 1,2-hexane-diol. You got a few emulsifiers. You've got propanediol. I'm going to blitz through it. You've got bicolin, which is actually another root that's known for its antioxidant properties. You've got fragrance. Then you hit adenosine. You've got more fragrance. We're going to keep going. Preservatives. You have madecassoside. Yeah. And 3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid. A few more extracts, and then you finally get to Panax ginseng root extract. So that's actually the only ginseng really in this product.
Oh, that's interesting. So from what between these two aisles, I think, and the price point, I would definitely lean closer to the serum. Just based on the aisle, I will say that Bikeland is relatively high up, even though it's not part of their ginseng complex. Bikeland has pretty interesting data. Though I will say it's not the most stable, guys. So if you see this one turning colors on you, it's not your imagination. It has interesting, even though I think 3-O-ethyl at that level probably doesn't do much, but it has a blend of a lot of actives like madecassoside, the vitamin C derivative. I even spy licorice root or the dipotassium glycyrrhizate form. So yeah, I guess the money comes from all the different types of ginseng that's in the cream.
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know that complex. It's one of those proprietary things. So, but I also agree because they also did a clinical. So they did an 8-week clinical study on 30 women, ages between 39 to 60, so more mature skin. They found that there was a 5.9% improvement in elasticity, a 9.9% increase in strengthening the moisture barrier, and a 14.5% increase in hydration. And those numbers don't sound the most exciting, but this is a classic result of doing instrumental testing. And I do think the hydration piece is interesting because this product is actually really more of the gel kind of consistency. So despite it's not your typical like lotion emulsion cream. So I just want to point that out there.
Yeah, actually, I think this is a good testament that their blend of active does do something because it also has that higher level of alcohol. So it's not any sort of high levels of humectants that's giving you the hydration. It could really be the case where your moisture barrier in general is doing a little better.
Yeah. So this or that, we like the serum better. But all in all, hopefully that gives you an idea of maybe how to approach shopping for ginseng. We really think it's more of a fun to have, a nice to have than a necessary must. So